Hi everybody, my name's Jessica. I'll be guiding you through a lunar sequence today. It's one that I like to do near the full moons, and we'll be working more into the lunar, the yin channels of the body, the yin tissues, focusing a little bit more on the hips, some more into those side stretches, and some more circular type movements. So if you have two blocks, they might be handy for today. Also a blanket for padding under the knees if you like that. So to begin with, just come to any comfortable seat and just make sure the sit bones are grounded down so that you can feel rooted and balanced in the pelvis here. And just take one nice deep inhale through the nose. Let that exhale come out the mouth in a little sigh. And now just using the index finger and the thumb, we're going to work through a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing. So one more time, take an inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth, and now blocking off the right nostril with the thumb, inhaling through the left, and exhaling through the right. Now inhale back through the right, and exhale out of the left. So this is one round. Inhale back through the left, exhale right, inhale right, exhale left. We'll do one more round here. Inhaling left, exhaling right, inhaling right, and exhaling left. And now pausing, let that right hand relax down onto the thighs. Let the breath become natural for a round or two here. And now from here, again, blinking the eyes open if they're not already, we're going to focus on the navel. And on that next inhale, just start to make little circles with the navel. So maybe inhaling forward and exhaling back. And again, just focusing in the navel area, so more into that low back. One more round in this direction. And then the next time that you inhale, just switch direction for about 3 rounds. Again, letting this little circular movement be led from the navel. And now as you complete this last circle, bring that focus up to the heart and start to make little circles with the heart now. So letting the full spine, the shoulders, and the neck get involved here, but just thinking of the circles kind of being drawn by the heart. Notice how they get a little bit bigger when we move up the spine. And again, switching directions on that next inhale. Try to soften the muscles of the jaw, relax the muscles of the face. One more circle like this. And now finding your way back to center. And on the next inhale, just rolling the shoulders up, back, down. And again, forward, up, back, and down. One more like that. Nice, big, deep shoulder rolls. And then on your next inhale, switch directions. So now going back, up, forward, and down. Just one more like that. See if you can try to focus more on the scapula moving here with this movement. And then coming back to stillness from here. And then we'll bring the fingertips down by the hips. And on that next inhale, let's reach that right arm up towards the sky, coming into a little side stretch. Keep that right hip rooting. And on the next inhale, both arms up. Exhale to the right. Inhaling through center, get that length through the spine. Exhale to the side, again keeping that both hips rooting down here. Inhaling up, exhaling to the side. One more each side. Exhaling over. Inhaling up, exhaling over. So we'll finish up on that left side, inhaling up and exhaling over. Coming up to center. Bring the hands back down for a moment. Bring both palms to that left knee. The left palm's on top. Nice tall inhale here to reach all the way up through the crown of the head and start to sweep that left arm all the way back, coming into a twist. Bring the fingertips down behind you as a little kickstand. Just take a moment here in the twist. Really root down through the hips. And now keeping the twist in the spine, keeping that right hand on the knee, we're going to start to inhale, reach the left arm up, and exhale, take it into kind of a little twist with a side stretch here. So the gaze can be up towards the sky or forward or down towards the floor, whatever feels better for the neck. And again, both hips are rooting down, so we're not leaning to the side. And on the inhale, coming back up, returning to that twist, and then exhale, unwind, come back to center and pause. Switch to the other side. So that left hand's on top. Right hand's on top. And on the inhale, start to open wide, turning the gaze back towards the thumb. Exhale into the twist. So both sit bones are rooted down, spine is tall. Roll that right shoulder blade back. Roll the left shoulder blade back. And now from here, keeping the twist in the spine as best you can, keep those hips balanced. Inhale, start to reach that right arm up. We'll keep the left palm where it is. And on the exhale, just slowly coming into a side stretch here. You'll notice it's not going to be nearly as deep as our prior side stretches. Again, finding a place that's comfortable for your gaze here, either forward, down, or up. And then again on the inhale, coming back up, returning to the twist for just a moment. And on the exhale, coming forward and pausing. So we'll come on to hands and knees now, coming into tabletop. Again, finding the knees under the hips here. The shoulders are right over the wrists. Spread those fingers wide. And instead of cat-cow that we normally do, we're going to take it into little circles again. So starting with the heart dropping and then pressing the ribs to the side, up to the other side and down. So find a rhythm with the breath that kind of matches the movement here. Half of the circle is an inhale, half is an exhale. We'll do one more in this direction. And now switching directions, beginning with that next inhale. So we'll do about 4 circles like this. Again, thinking about the heart, just making these little circles, and then the rest of the spine really follows along. Last one of these. And then just returning to table for a moment. We'll keep the knees right under the hips where they are. And now just walk the hands forward. So the upper body is in downward dog. The lower body is still kind of in that table position. So arms walk forward, really grip with the palms here, spread the fingers, and see if you can get the ears in between those upper arms or work towards that. So here the tailbone is reaching away from the crown of the head. Just getting a lot of length here in the spine, a little bit drawing in the navel. Really root down through the index finger knuckle as much as you are the pinky knuckle. And on that next inhale, just slowly start to walk the palms back under the shoulders. We're going to step the right leg out to the right now. And I'm actually going to turn towards you so you can see me a little bit better. So from that table position, we're going to step the right leg out to the right so that the arch of the foot is in line with the knee. Palms are under the shoulders. And then from here, try to ground down through the outer edge of that right foot and just slowly start to walk the hands forward again, coming into that puppy pose so that the ears are between the upper arms. The tailbone is still reaching away from the crown of the head. The navel is still drawing in, breath is flowing. Keep those palms at least shoulder distance. So getting probably a pretty decent inner thigh stretch here. One more breath. And on the next inhale, walk the palms back up under the shoulders. We're going to keep that right leg out, the knee bent, and just slowly come up onto the knee and the foot. And this is where maybe a block will be handy, just beside the knee. So from here, let's inhale the arms up. And on the exhale, take it over to that right side. So just going to slide the palm down until you feel a comfortable stretch through the side body. And we want to try to keep the knee, the hip, and the shoulder in a pretty decent alignment here. And the gaze again can be down at the foot, can be straight ahead, or up towards the sky, depending on how the neck's feeling today. Another breath. And on the exhale, we're going to come through center, find the block. Try to bring the palm under the shoulder here again. Keep this foot rooted, and on the inhale, can reach that upper arm up towards the sky, just opening into the chest. Either staying here or rotate the palm to face forward, kind of towards the face. And on the exhale, start to reach the arm more in line with the ear. So we're getting that stretch from the ankle all the way to the hip and maybe all the way up to the armpit. And again, the navel's drawing in just a little bit here to support that low back. If you don't need the block, don't use it. If you need it on the higher height, you can play around with that as well. And one more breath here. And now on the inhale, we're going to use this arm and the belly to slowly bring ourselves back up. Nice and tall. And on the exhale, bring the palms down. Go ahead, bend the knee. Come back onto all fours here into table. And on the exhale, sit the hips back to child's pose now. So you can let the forehead relax down. If that's not comfortable, you can always place a block under the forehead as well. And just taking a breath here into the back body. And on that next inhale, again, coming back up onto all fours, so returning to that table position. And again, little circles with the rib cage here. So on the inhale, drop the belly, press the ribs to the right, press them towards the sky, to the left and down for 3 rounds here. Again, the rest of the spine just kind of follows along. And then switching directions. Just kind of being curious about any areas that are a little tight. This is a move that really can bring out some heat as well. And again, coming back to a neutral spine now. One more time. Keep the knees where they are. Just walk those hands forward until you get a nice long spine here. Bring the ears down between the upper arms. Reach the tailbone away from the crown of the head here. Really root down through the palms and the fingertips. A couple of nice deep breaths here. And on that next inhale, we'll walk the palms back under the shoulders again. And I'm going to turn towards you one more time. I'm going to bring that block with. And from table again, we'll step this time the left foot out. So it comes all the way out to the left as best you can. Try to root down through the outer edge of the foot as best you can. Right knee stays under the hip here. And you can stay here if you're getting a decent stretch through the inner thigh here. Stay here. Otherwise, if you did it on the other side, you can start to walk the hands forward so that, again, you're coming into a puppy position with the upper body while you're in that half straddle with the legs. So again, the tailbone reaches away from the crown of the head. Draw that low belly in. One more breath here. And on the next inhale, nice and slow, start to walk the hands back under the shoulders. This time we'll come up onto the knee. Keep the foot rooted down. So remember to keep the hip over the knee here. Let's inhale the arms up. And on the exhale, we'll take it over to the left. So let that palm slide down the thigh, reaching the right arm over. Again, a little bit, drawing the navel in. And just finding your way into a nice side stretch here. Keep checking in with the ankle. Make sure the outer edge of the foot is still rooted as much as the big toe, so we're not letting that arch soften too much. We want it to be engaged and active. And on the next inhale, coming up through center, get that long spine. And on the exhale, either finding the block or the floor again. And you want that palm pretty close to right under the shoulder here. Draw the navel in, reach the arm up towards the sky. And again, from here, either staying here if that's comfortable for the shoulder, or rotating the palm forward, and you can start to reach the arm more in line with the ear. So whatever feels good today. Couple of nice deep breaths, again feeling the stretch from the ankle all the way up to the armpit. Gaze can be at the floor, or straight forward, or up towards the sky. And now on the next inhale, we'll use the belly and the arm coming back to center. One more inhale. And on the exhale, let's bring the hands back down to the mat. Bring the knee back under the hips and sit yourself back to child's pose again for a moment. So the knees are nice and wide and the big toes touch in child's pose. Drop the forehead. And this time we're going to gaze between the thumbs for a moment, pop up on those fingertips, and on the exhale, just walk the hands over to the right until you start to feel a stretch through the left side of the body, and then let those palms relax down and see if you can drop the head between the upper arms. So see if you can feel the sides of the ribs and the back of the rib cage expanding with the breath. And on the next inhale again, gaze between the thumbs, pop up on the fingertips. First come to center, get some length through the spine, and then on the exhale, we'll take it to the other side. Again, once you start to feel the stretch through that right side, then you can plant the palms and let the head relax down between the arms. So again, just finding a nice stretch, maybe from that right hip all the way up to the right armpit. And on the next inhale again, looking between the thumbs, walking the fingertips forward. One more time, gathering length, and this time on the exhale, drop the head, just for a breath or two. And then again, inhaling, looking between the thumbs, we'll come up onto all fours. And this time, finding your way back to a comfortable seat. So if you have a blanket or maybe Well, you'd like to sit up on a block for this next part of the sequence, by all means, please grab that now, especially if you have tight hips. So we're going to bend that left knee, bring the foot in towards the inner right thigh, and just kind of pause here for a moment. So we're in kind of a half straddle again. So bring the fingertips down to the outsides of the hips here and get that nice tall spine on the inhale. And on the exhale, and some of us may not be going very far with this, keeping those sit bones rooted back, just start to walk the heart forward. Only until you can find a nice stretch either in that hamstring or the inner thigh. And then just pausing and breathing when you find it. So try to keep the heart feeling as though it's still reaching forward. We don't want to cave into the upper back here. So another breath, both sit bones rooted back and down. And then on the inhale, let's walk those hands back. We're going to take it into a side stretch. So right fingertips stay down. Let's inhale the left fingertips up. And on the exhale, just walking over towards that right side. Again, keeping the left hip grounded. I like to gaze down at the floor in this one. So the pelvis is weighted equally in both sides here. Another nice deep breath. And now inhaling, coming back to center, and either staying here for a moment or you can join me for this little fun pose that I like to do sometimes. We're going to plant that left palm down by the hip. And on the inhale, just start to slowly sweep that right arm up as you lift the hips and reaching back. So those right toes reach forward, right fingertips reach back. Pressing down through the left palm, so opening through the chest. One more breath. And on the exhale, nice and slow, lower the hips. Bring the arm back and pause. And then from here, we'll help that left knee unbend. Bring the legs out in front of you for a moment. Give them a little shake. And then when you're ready, we're going to bend the right knee. Bring the left leg out to the side. Find a little straddle here. So the right foot is touching the inner left thigh. Take a moment, whatever you're sitting on, if it's the floor or a block or any other prop, just make sure both of those sit bones are rooted down equally here. Fingertips coming to either side of the hips here. Nice tall spine. And from that heart, letting that heart lead on the exhale, just start to walk yourself as little or as far forward as you need to find that stretch. So again, you may be up pretty high here if you have some tight inner thighs. And just notice any differences between the first side and this side. So that the next time you do a sequence like this, you can maybe hold the tighter side a little longer. But keep walking the heart forward, lengthening through the spine, but keeping those sit bones rooted down. Back of the neck is nice and long here, so don't drop the chin. And on the next inhale, nice and slow, we're going to walk ourselves back up. Fingertips again to the outsides of the hips. This time we'll inhale that right arm up. Keep the right hip rooting down. And on the exhale, nice and slow, we'll take it over to the side. So this left palm can really help. So we really want to press down a little bit through that left palm to get a little lift through the spine, even as we're bending into that left side. And again, find a comfortable place for the gaze so that the neck feels relaxed. Check in with the hips, make sure both of them are still grounded. We're not rolling onto one side. One more nice deep breath here. And on the inhale, nice and slow, coming back up. We'll bring those right fingertips down. And again, staying here, or if you'd like to try the little back bend, we're just going to plant this right palm down, kind of below the right shoulder, near the right hip. And then as you inhale, we'll sweep that left arm up, lift the hips, and open through the heart. So really reach through those left fingertips. Reach through the left toes. And on the next exhale, nice and slow, lowering the hips down, sweeping the arm back, and pausing. And again, just helping that right knee to unbend here. Give the legs a little bit of a little wiggle here. And now, just so that I can give you a little different view here. Coming up into a nice tall seat, try to root down through the palms. If you're on a block, you'll be on your fingertips, but try to get those shoulders and the hips in a nice alignment. Just for a moment, press the thighs down into the mat, flex the toes, crown of the head is nice and tall, and that navel's drawing in. So it's a very active seated pose. And then from here on the exhale, moving from the hips and again leading with the heart, as little or as much as you can, start to walk the hips, the heart forward. Sorry, not the hips, the heart forward. And it can help to put a little bit of a bend into the knees here too. So just easing into a nice little forward fold here. Again, keeping the back of the neck long, not dropping the chin, not trying to kind of crank into the back of the neck, but just keeping it long and neutral. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. So in this pose, we're really working to get think about the heart trying to reach towards the tops of the feet, that low belly towards the upper thigh. Flexible yogis can even grab the feet here, drop the forehead down. Tighter yogis, you might be up here still, which is fine, but just keep working, leading with the heart here. And on that next inhale, walk yourself back up. And then let's go ahead and come back again to a comfortable, either cross-legged position if that works for you, or you can stay in the straight leg position. And now, since it is a lunar flow, we're going to end, before we do Shavasana, with another little breath meditation. And this time we're only going to be inhaling through the left nostril and exhaling out through the right. And that left nostril is the lunar channel of the body. It's our connection to that lunar nadi, the energy channel that's the cooling and rejuvenating channel of the body. So when we exhale out of the right nostril, we're releasing some extra heat too. So it's just a good way to end a practice and in a peaceful manner. So again, using the index finger and the thumb here, take one inhale through the nose. Exhale everything out. And now blocking the right nostril. Let's inhale left. And exhale right. Again, inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. And now releasing the hand down. Taking one round of just a natural breath in and out through the nose, closing the eyes. And then just slowly transitioning into Shavasana. So one option, since we do have the blocks here tonight, and I have a little spider on there, One option that I really like to do sometimes, it's a gentle chest opener. So both blocks would be at the same height here. And if you can imagine where your bra line would be, some of us are pretty good with that, and some of us may may not quite know where that is. But just at the very point of the shoulders is where the bottom of the block is going to be. So it's supporting the upper shoulders here, that upper chest. So the bottom of the block to the pointy part of the shoulder blade, maybe just a little bit below that. And then this block is just going to support the head. And let the arms come out through a little T here. Let the feet, give them a little flop in and out so that the hips can kind of release. Make sure the head is pretty comfortable here. Make any adjustments that you need to make to the blocks to get yourself feeling supported and comfortable. So it should feel pretty amazing in the chest. A very gentle opening. And once you kind of find your spot, just closing the eyes again. Taking one last inhale here together. And letting the exhale come out of the mouth. And now just releasing any last efforting here. And allowing your body to completely be supported by the mat. And if you're using the blocks, just letting the body melt down here. We'll be here for just another moment or two. If you have the time, please stay here, enjoy a little longer Shavasana today. Otherwise, start to bend the knees, walk the feet in a little bit, and if you're on the props especially, take a moment here. And to get off the props, we're just going to roll onto either side. Just do it slowly and support the head with the upper arm. And just take an extra breath here to come as we're kind of coming up, especially if you were on the props. And when you're ready, use the arms to help support that spine. And once again, returning to any comfortable seat that feels good to you tonight or today. Here it's tonight. And thank you everyone so much for joining me again. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.